Let me start at the end. Let me start by telling you what I have seen this type of occupational therapy do. Isaiah was 10 years old when I met him. I think he might have been born just the sweetest child on earth. He was really tall for his age and really loved to move his body, but I didn't learn that until later, because when he first came into my room, he looked around this huge space. I was massively lucky to have a huge gym all to myself, all full of toys and a sensory swing and balance beams and all kinds of things, and Isaiah looked around until he found the one random desk with one random chair at it, and he went and sat down and asked me, "What am I supposed to do?" But as soon as he found out that he was allowed to move around and play however he wanted during his time in here, he never stopped moving. Isaiah would literally pause whatever we were talking about. I mean, he would look at me and say pause, and he would go run laps up and down the room. I was comfortable in playful practice by the time I met Isaiah. I kept doing what I was usually doing, which was setting up the room ahead of time with a few things that I thought would be exciting or engaging, and then following his lead from there. A couple of sessions went by with us having a fun time, but nothing had really clicked like magic yet, but I was giving it time. Then one day, Isaiah said what turned out to be the magic words. He asked me casually on the way back to his classroom if I'd ever heard of the book Dog Man. I said I had. Isaiah was brand new to graphic novels. He struggled with reading, but this was opening up a new world for him. Before the next time I saw him, I stapled some folded paper together, drew some boxes on it. Nothing special. Then in our next session, I showed him immediately. I said, "I thought maybe we could make a graphic novel, if you want to." It was literally like magic. Not every kid you ever work with will be Isaiah, but Isaiah was. He drew illustrations and wrote furiously for the entire session. His writing was completely illegible. He drew word bubbles and then filled them so the words didn't fit. I didn't care even slightly, because he was writing. He was writing with joy. He came back to the next OT session and handed me a completed graphic novel. He never stopped making them for the entire school year. He made dozens. He asked his mom and dad if he could set up a stand selling them like a lemonade stand. I took a coworker with me and we visited it to buy some. His writing got better, his spelling got better, his reading got better, his drawing got better. He started a comic book club with other 10-year-olds from his class. They drew and wrote together at lunch and recess. And you know what? During our OT time, we only spent about half of it maximum writing and drawing graphic novels. We spent the other half making up stories and moving our bodies. I talked with him constantly about the ways his body worked. I gave him self-advocacy statements. I said things like, "I noticed that your body knows that running around will give your brain more power to think of new ideas," and I watched as he started repeating that same language back to me. He would be in the middle of writing and drawing and say, "I'm out of ideas, I need more power," and get up and run a lap, and come back and say, "I got one." Often he would act out his action scenes for his graphic novels by attacking my teardrop swing like it was a punching bag, and having me stand there and do an announcer voice about what he was doing. "He ducks to the left, he swings to the right. Folks, we've never seen anything like it." Then he would run to paper and draw what he felt was a recreation of the fight scene he'd just enacted with his body. At the end of the year, Isaiah told me he wanted to be an author when he grew up. When he came into my room, he couldn't write a sentence. At the end of the year, he wanted to be an author. I did not make him do that. I did not cause that. He connected with it. It became occupationally meaningful to him. It became occupationally meaningful to him because of play.